Imagine getting up in the morning and looking at your phone to see that Bitcoin is worth more than $117,000, Ethereum is worth more than $4,600, and XRP is still worth $38. It's being talked about in every news source. Each chart is green. Every day, billions of dollars worth of goods and services move through the market. This time, it's not just fun for no reason. Institutions, cities, and state funds are finally getting into crypto in a way that has never been seen before. You are no longer just watching from the outside. You are a part of it. You're swimming in the wave. Since this isn't just another bull run, capital is moving around the world, and this kind of change only happens once every generation, and XRP is right in the middle of it all. Ripple is now trying to get a full banking license in the US. This is something that no other cryptocurrency company has been able to do. That includes the famous Fed Master account, which is like a metal key that opens the door to the Federal Reserve. It was made clear by Brad Garlinghouse. Ripple isn't trying to get around the rules. They are hugging them. The old world of traditional banks and the new world of decentralized finance are being joined together. That means XRP can now handle quick, cheap, and safe deals for businesses, banks, and even whole countries. That's what's different about now. The rules have been changed. The same plans that smart buyers use to make their money grow quickly. You'll also get weekly XRP updates that are only available to members. These updates will help you think like the top 1%, so you'll always know what's going on before everyone else. You don't have to guess. Being ready is important. You can get entry right away. There is a link to it at the top of the movie text. Let's go further now. Ripple isn't just trying to make news. The new age of finance is being laid out by them. It will be the same for Ripple as it is for big US banks once they get that banking license. In other words, they could make goods, control cash flow, and even do business with the Fed directly. All of them run on XRP. As you add up Ripple's deals with BNY Mellon, Franklin Templeton, and DBS, you can begin to see it. A whole new banking network is being built right now in front of our eyes. This is the point where real money and digital goods finally work together as one system. Everything is just right at the right time, because the first US spot XRP ETF has gone live at the same time as this technology. When the RexShares Osprey product came out, it was met with a huge amount of demand. In the first 90 minutes, more than $24 million were traded. By the end of the first day, more than $37 million had been traded. This year, more ETFs have been launched than any other time. People who work for Bloomberg even called it the breakout of the year. XRP is no longer out there on its own. It's now an asset that institutions can trust. This is only the beginning. At the same time, Coinbase just released one of the most important changes in the history of cryptocurrency. They have added direct DeFi loans to their main app. No hard-to-understand wallets or links to third parties. You can earn up to 10.8% APY right away if you keep USDC. Take that in. In most banks, you can get 0.5% to 1% on your savings account and up to 4% on a money market account. But now, Coinbase users can get double-digit gains right away. Stablecoins are worth $10,000, which is more than $1,000 a year just for keeping them. It's likely clear how banks feel about that. They're not pleased. The Institute of Banking Policy has already said that stablecoin yields are making standard banking models more difficult to use. It makes sense too. Why would someone settle for interest rates as low as 0.01% when they can earn 10% and still use their digital dollars to make purchases, send money, or even use bank cards? This is why the way money works is changing all the time. Crypto isn't a test anymore, it's an improvement. Take a quick look away now. Ripple has a foot in the Federal Reserve System, Coinbase gives savers real yield, and the first XRP ETF is breaking trade records. Also, Larry Fink of BlackRock, who is in charge of more than $10 trillion in assets, just said that Bitcoin could reach $500,000 to $700,000 if only 25% of the world's sovereign funds put money into it. He also said that he is already talking about it with national wealth funds. It's not just talk either. A new bill just passed in Michigan that says the state has to put 10% of its backup funds into Bitcoin. It is now official that states will adopt children, and other states will move after one does. Now, put it all together. A lot of money is coming in every week through Bitcoin ETFs. Next up are Ethereum ETFs. Now, XRP, the utility coin that can be used in real-world banks, is getting the same attention. Lots of money from institutions is coming in. Coinbase's ETFY fund brought in $543 million in the first week. and Ethereum's version brought in another $326 million. Now, tens of millions of dollars have been flowing into XRP since its launch, which is making it rise quickly. This is how prices change. It starts out slowly and then speeds up all at once. Also, here's an interesting fact. Traders have seen that XRP often changes in response to the moon. It may sound crazy, but prices tend to go up during full moons and stay the same during new moons. Also, guess what? Right now there is a full moon. It's also going up. Even if it's just a coincidence, smart investors are paying close attention to these trends because they match up with money flow cycles. Ripple is building stronger roots while traders look at the charts. There are quiet projects going on behind the scenes to build new stablecoin infrastructure, cross-border payment routes, and tokenized funds. In this way, XRP becomes an important part of world banking. It's no longer just another cryptocurrency project. It's being used to build the next banking system in the world. At this time, XRP links everything from Wall Street to Washington to independent apps that use the XRP ledger. At the same time, institutional usage, capital flows into ETFs, and clear regulations are all coming together. It's not an accident. That's working together. The next big phase of capital growth is about to begin as these forces come together. Things get even more interesting now. XRP doesn't trade like other things because it's not just for fun. It makes sense. Every price rise, fall, and step of consolidation is meant to do something. There is a beat to it that you can't see. Long-term players like institutions, funds, and global organizations use these cycles to quietly build up their wealth, while most people are scared or unsure what to do. This trend has been around longer than crypto. Smart money grows while most people aren't sure. Then, once the infrastructure and rules are clear, those same companies go public and prices go through the roof. We are right now in that place, the calm time before the storm. Most small buyers are still not sure about XRP, but banks, governments, and funds are already using it. No longer is the idea of a bridge between traditional banking and digital value transfer just a dream. It is now here and is named RippleNet. Once the banking license is approved, Ripple will be a real part of the U.S. financial system and will be connected to the Fed. We'll pick up where we left off in the next part, how Ripple's strategy, the flow of money into ETFs, and the way institutions are set up are making the right conditions for XRP to take its next step. Let's focus on something that many people miss when they look at XRP. How Ripple is really making things behind the scenes? The real story is what's going on below the price that no one is paying attention to. The building blocks that could be used to build the next banking system. The world's banking system has been based on messages for many years, not on movement. Think about SWIFT. Making a fax is like this. Someone from one bank tells another bank, "Hey, we owe you this much." The other bank then waits for payment, which can take days. It's slow, doesn't work well, and costs a lot in lost cash. Ripple turns that whole system upside down. Instead of sending messages about money, they send messages right away that are worth something. That's the main difference. And XRP is the key that lets them do that. It's not just one more coin on a system. It's the thing that links two different currencies together no matter where they are in the world. It is possible for banks in Japan and Brazil to send and receive yen and real exchange, and XRP does the exchange in seconds. It works everywhere, is liquid, and is very fast. But this is crazy. A very small group of people know that the real change is already taking place in the background. Ripple works with a huge number of businesses in Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. While most people are still focused on Bitcoin ETFs and joke coins, they've built this huge network that's still growing. And that's where the uneven chance lies. As new methods like this come in to replace old ones, the change doesn't happen slowly, it breaks. Like how overnight people switched from DVDs to streaming or from cabs to Uber. One day, the new method will be standard and the old one will look old. Ripple's plan is not to go up against the banks, it's to make them better. Like Bitcoin, Ripple doesn't want to create a whole new financial system. Instead, it's building links between the old and the new. Banks work with them instead of against them because of this. That's why central banks, the IMF and the BIS, all pay attention to what Ripple says, because they don't want to break the order. They want to make things better. And now, for something even bigger, the time of tokenization is coming to an end. On blockchain lines, there will be digital copies of all the assets you can think of, like stocks, bonds, real estate, and carbon credits. By 2030, that market should be worth more than $16 trillion. It's already being built by someone, by the way. Swirl. They've already made RippleNet, which is used for payments. Then they grew to include Ripple Funding Hub, which helps businesses connect with different digital funding sources. They are now going deeper into Ripple's CBDC platform, which lets whole countries create their own blockchain-based digital currencies. What does all of that have in common? We can work together, being able to easily move money between all of those services. That's where XRP comes in once more. These networks are not in competition with XRP. The neutral bridge asset is what links them all together. Imagine that one day each country will have its own digital currency, like the digital dollar, euro, or yen. Those different currencies don't talk to each other. So what is the common language that they can all speak? A bridge asset that is instantly available, autonomous, and liquid around the world. That's what XRP was made to be. But here's something even more interesting. Ripple's leaders have been dropping hints about this long-term goal for many years. The CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, has said more than once that he thinks XRP will be the future of the Internet of Value. In other words, just like the Internet linked information together, Ripple links value together. That might sound vague, but think about this. It was hard to share information before the Internet. It runs easily now. Once upon a time, money was kept separate. Soon, it will also flow freely. That's the change that's taking place now. Even though the price of XRP might not show that yet, markets always catch up to usefulness, especially when it affects the whole system. It's like how no one paid attention to Amazon when it was just selling books in the late 1990s. No one knew they were building the foundations for e-commerce. That's precisely what Ripple does. Not just payments, but also the way the world's money system works. This is where the size really blows my mind. Every year, global funds are worth more than $156 trillion. With Ripple's on-demand liquidity, ODL product, banks and other institutions can use XRP to send money quickly across borders without having to fund their accounts first. That's very important. In order for foreign payments to work, banks keep trillions of dollars in accounts all over the world. With ODL, you don't have to do that. Imagine putting even a small amount of that money back into the system. There is a real chance that the ripple effect will be huge. Now think about this. Ripple doesn't need all banks to use XRP. Even if only a small part of all payments made in the world go through XRP, the sheer number would be mind-boggling. Most people don't pay enough attention to that quiet part. This doesn't have to turn into a world monopoly for holders to have life-changing results. It only needs to be used in the right places. And people are already starting to adopt them. Clear crypto rules are being pushed forward in places like Singapore, the UAE, and Japan. In those talks, Ripple has been at the heart. They're not fighting with the government. The rules are being made with their help. They even work together with big banks to push for responsible standards for digital assets. This is because they know that once the rules are clear, the big players will move quickly. Now, this couldn't be happening at a more important time. Now is the time when governments can talk freely about digital currencies, banks can test blockchain infrastructure, and institutional adoption can finally start to take shape. And Ripple has been working toward this point for almost 10 years, even during the years-long case. It was one of the best things that could have happened to them in the end. Why? Because it made Ripple one of the most honest, regulated, and tried-and-true crypto businesses. In order to run their business, they had to make it look like a normal bank. They're stronger now because of it. This means that Ripple will be ready when the new rules come out. A lot of crypto companies will have to work hard to catch up. That's why, in the background, trust in XRP keeps growing among institutions. It's not just an idea either. Right now, pilot projects are being run by central banks. As an example, Ripple was used by the Republic of Palau to start its own stable coin. Bhutan used Ripple's platform to test its CBDC. And countries in Africa and the Middle East are looking into how Ripple technology can help more people get access to money. These are no longer tests. They are the first signs of a change happening around the world. Lots of things will change when those dominoes start to fall. It will change what digital money really means. Because this is all based on a simple idea. It should be easy to move value, just like it is to move knowledge. To send money around the world, you shouldn't have to wait days or pay a lot of money. That's why Ripple's goal is important to more than just crypto players. It fixes a problem in the real world that affects a lot of people. Now, put that goal together with the direction the market is going. It's not about jokes or hype in the next stage of adoption. It's about trust, speed, and comfort. The next bull cycle will be led by companies that offer real-world value. Ripple has made XRP one of the few digital assets that can be used in real life and is backed by technology that is fit for institutions. The thing that most people don't see is that people don't accept utilities in public. There are boardrooms, regulatory offices, and partnership talks where this takes place. It's often too late to catch the big wave by the time people start to notice. And right now, everything points to that moment coming up faster than people think. The world is moving toward faster, more efficient processes because of macro forces like inflation, debt, and the de-dollarization of money. Blockchain, AI, and tokenization are all types of technology that are coming together to form a single global system. Ripple is in the middle of it all, and XRP is ready to link it all together. So it's important to understand this moment. It's not about guessing where the next pump will come from. It's about being able to see how global money will change before anyone else does. The world is moving toward digital value transfers that can happen instantly and across borders. The assets that make that change possible won't just be valuable when it's done. They'll be very important. When you think about it, every big step forward in technology goes through the same process. People don't care about it at first. After that, they laugh about it. After that, they fight it. Finally, they join. In this case, XRP is going through the same thing. People said it couldn't happen for a long time. It was said that banks would never deal with crypto. They said that blockchain would never be used by the government. Yet, here we are seeing Ripple form direct agreements with regulators, central banks, and some of the world's biggest banks. It's interesting how quietly everything is happening. Ripple doesn't try to make the news. They put up buildings and roads. They've been in it for a long time because they know something that most people don't. The next stage of wealth won't have noise built in. It was made in quiet. Take a look at the bigger view. As we move into the future, the financial world is about to change totally. Paper money is going away. There is more digital money now. And the organizations that handle global payments like money transfers and settlements are being updated so they can work quickly around the clock across borders. Something like that doesn't happen overnight, but once it happens, it can't be undone. The ability for different currencies, banks, and systems to talk to each other is called compatibility. It is at the heart of this change. Due to this, Ripple has spent many years getting licenses, earning the trust of regulators, and showing that XRP is more than just a speculative token. It's technology made for infrastructure. This is not advice about money. The signs are all over the place. Now, Ripple has rights in places like Singapore and Dubai that are very important for business. They now do business in more than 70 countries. They work with organizations that handle daily amounts of billions of dollars. And that's before the full merger of CBDC even starts. When the next step starts, it will be easy to see what role XRP plays. For every digital currency to work, it needs a bridge, an asset that can quickly settle value between systems that wouldn't connect otherwise. This asset should be neutral, efficient, and accepted by everyone. The digital euro, the e-yuan, and the digital pound are all being worked on by different groups, but Ripple has been building the lines that will link them all together. That's what makes XRP unique. There's more to it than that. It connects two different worlds. And when the market does figure that out, it won't happen slowly. It will be a aha moment. When worth changes from speculation to use, XRP is where all the money in the world is. Because this is the truth. Being liquid is power. Things are worth more when they can be sold quickly. And XRP's only goal is to make global funding possible. Take a look at this. A digital asset isn't just being used when banks, businesses, and governments all start to depend on it for payment. It's being built into their base. That's when XRP stops being a cryptocurrency and starts working with the rest of the world's money. That's why now time is so important. There are a lot of great possibilities right now before global adoption becomes clear. Before the dot-com boom, this is the same stage that early internet buyers saw. In this stage, right before widespread use, everything seems calm, but deep down, something big is making progress. Now think about this too. New financial systems help more than just banks and states when they go live. They also bring about once-in-a-lifetime changes in wealth for people who saw them coming early. That's what makes traders different from dreamers. Traders look at price charts. Visionaries get ready for the wave before it hits. XRP is still at the beginning of that curve. The machinery is being built, but people still don't know about it. When a lot of money from around the world flows through those lines, the value of XRP could grow much faster than most people think. Remember that one country, one bank, or one route is not enough to make a difference. A very small portion of the world's cash settling through XRP could be worth trillions of dollars. Even a small part of that amount could make a huge desire for the asset itself. The network effect is the name for this. The network gets more valuable as Ripple adds more links to it. Each new country, relationship, or corridor that XRP is used in makes it more useful. That's the difference between real long-term projects and short-term hype. There is no going back once usefulness reaches a certain level. It's clear in the market right now. The calm before the next wave of breakouts. Utility coins are starting to shine, and regulations are finally catching up. This means that institutions will finally start to use them. XRP doesn't follow trends. It's set to shape the next era of sending money around the world. You can see something powerful when you look at what Ripple has built, where the world is going, and how quickly tokenization is growing. You won't just be able to pay faster. It has to do with making a single digital banking system. The idea behind XRP is that it will connect everything. So, in the years to come, people will remember this exact moment before the systems went live and the news went crazy, and understand it was one of the most unequal chances of this generation. Because when a lot of the world's money flows through the XRP system, it won't just be a crypto story. It will be the story of the new financial age, and the few people who saw it coming will really get ahead. And now is the time to take the next step if you really want to understand that shift better and find out how to best place yourself before it's over.